Can you introduce yourself and your position at ChronoLogic?
Yeah, sure. My name is Philippe, and I'm doing part-time research and development for ChronoLogic. I'll try to mostly focus on things relating to claiming mechanism, scheduling transaction, and also conditional execution. And I'll also try to write some technical reports so that we can share our research with the rest of the community.
Okay, that's great. So could you explain what attracted you to the ChronoLogic? Why you joined us?
I work on several problems at the same time, and there are things that the problems or some solutions I was thinking about that were very similar to some of the stuff ChronoLogic was working on, especially regarding the conditional executions. And I think there's a lot of projects that will eventually need third parties that are able to execute stuff when something else happened on blockchain without having the users to always constantly look at the blockchain. And this is something that, you know, instead of developing myself or with other project, I just thought it would be better to just tag along and work with you.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, definitely. So the conditional scheduling and the new claiming mechanism, that's something that we're working on. That's going to be the part of the a new next generation scheduling protocol that we're working on. So we're really glad to have you. And yeah, so maybe let's talk a little bit about, you know, what do you think about in general the scheduling and, you know, the need for that, and, you know, what's your thinking?
Well, scheduling transaction or just having things that happen on your behalf at different time, I think is extremely important. In the real world, it's always the case. If someone tries to steal your stuff at the bank, for example, or you're expecting the bank to, you know, protect your funds from the stealer. On the blockchain, if someone attacks or there's something that happens on the blockchain and you're not monitoring it and there's no safeguard, or it requires user intervention to do something, then it becomes problematic. That's for conditional execution. Scheduling transaction is the same thing. If you know that you want to, for example, send payment because you're an employee, or you have a DAO that wants to automatically send dividend, for example, to the rest of the network, you can have someone calling it, but you could also just have scheduled transaction, and you're guaranteed that with economical certainty, at least, someone guaranteed that it's going to be executed when you want it. And I think it just makes things much easier, especially if we're able to get the scheduling transaction cheap. Then I think this is something that's going to bring a lot of value to the Ethereum ecosystem.
Yeah, we totally agree. And basically what we kind of get into is, you know, we started working on Ethereum alarm clock some months ago, but Ethereum alarm clock is specifically a scheduling based on the time, or, you know, time and blocks, which is a time basically on the blockchain. Mm-hmm. And then we get into the thinking that time and blocks are just specific conditions for the execution. So that's how we want to, you know, generalize the problem of conditional execution. So include both time and blocks, and, you know, specific data that can be checked, or, you know, from the blockchain, from the state of the other smart contracts, in order to, you know, build the protocol. So, you know, what do you think about this approach? Do you think that's a valid way of, you know, going?
I think that's way better, actually. I think there's probably more use case of other than temporal conditions that people need to execute the transactions, like things like state channels, plasma, even, you know, like you could have where, like the 0x protocol, for instance, there's a condition where if the owner of the 0x project decide to give ownership to or upgrade their contract, they could upgrade it to like a malicious contract, but 0x is not the only case. There's a lot of potential upgrades, and a user might want to know when a specific upgrade is going to happen if they were not expecting it, right? So if there's a upgrade of this specific contract within the next month, I want my funds to be removed because I'm not expecting any upgrades within the next month. And I think all of these safeguards will be extremely important for providing security for the users in general.
Yes, we're also thinking that in general, conditional execution can allow us to enrich, for instance, the decentralized exchanges to, let's say, provide more advanced instruments. You could probably build a stop loss, you know, functionality quite easy based on that.
Yep,
right?
Absolutely.
So if something whatever happened on the price change or whatever ratio has changed, do action. So this is more of the if this then that, functionality that we're striving to implement and deliver to the community.
Mm-hmm. And I do see a lot of functionalities or potential benefits for having this.
All right. Thank you for the interview. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.